Good morning, everybody. Josh Ezel, Breakthrough Real Estate Property Management and Handyman Services. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to be starting a new series called Coffee and a Story. You get your tidbits very first thing in the morning, and so I figure it might be kind of cool and chill to share a neat story from the crazy world of real estate and everybody share a cup of coffee. Get started. If you're really appreciating these videos, go ahead and hit that like button right now and then pop over to the other side and hit that subscribe button. We try to share some great content weekly, whether it's generic sales content, real estate content, or just cool information that pretty much anybody might appreciate. All right, while you're at it, go ahead and check out our Patreon page, check out our websites. We got a lot of great stuff to offer and can't tell you how much it means to us. Let's go ahead and get to our story. Today's story, I'm naming difficult clients. Years ago, I was fortunate enough to help one of my best clients' sister. And she is amazing. I can't tell you how awesome she is. Now, her husband, on the other hand, gotta be honest, not the nicest guy in the world. From the very moment he came in, he had that kind of stereotypical thought of buyer beware, you're a salesman, they're trying to rip us off. So every step of the way, it was just grr, right? We looked at so many homes. And before we would even get to the information stage, your due diligence period, he would already be ruling stuff out based on just what he saw. If he saw any color changes, they were obviously hiding water damage. If the AC he thought was sounding loud, obviously they were not taking care of the AC unit. Or even if it came on, that means this house wasn't energy efficient. I mean, it was hilarious, the connections he was putting together, right? So, because obviously one of my best clients, this is his sister and brother-in-law, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna put the face on and just, keep going. So we looked at home after home after home after home. Finally, one met their criteria that was worthy of submitting the offer. So, of course, it's a hopping market, and the average home at that point in time, and keep in mind, this was like the fall of the market, but we started coming back at this point in time. So, average home was selling close to asking price, right? But of course, if it's listed for 85, he's got to offer 60. So, we offered 60 and they didn't get the home. So went through the whole rigmarole again. Hopefully gonna find one that's gonna work for him. I think it was about 25 more showings before we found the next home that, the sellers weren't just trying to rip them off every which way from Sunday. Yay! So this time I convinced him to come a little closer to asking price. There's no way in heck I was ever going to get him to offer asking price. I'm sure you guys appreciate that. Some clients, man, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, it does take a few missed offers for them to truly understand what the market is. Normally, it doesn't take a total of, I think, about 50 showings to get that to happen, but hey, to each their own, right? So we get this offer accepted. I forget exactly what it was at this point in time. I think the home was listed for 86 or 90,000, and I think he offered 75, in which they came back and countered at 82, in which case I think we got it accepted at 80 or something like that. But nonetheless, it took some miraculous negotiations and we got the seller to go, right? But at this, again, it's a seller's market, right? So we go to inspections, and of course, there's no perfect home. Everybody knows this. Every home's gonna have a GFCI that maybe doesn't trip, a drippy sink or two, sinks that may not, drain as fast as they should. Here in Arizona, believe it or not, drainage on the exterior of a house, almost always an issue. Landscapers are wonderful at design, but they don't understand physics of water going downhill. It needs to go away from the house, not towards it. So anyway, Got the offer accepted, went through the inspections, and had the standard list. Literally, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing. Okay? These sellers were even including the appliances. So these people were really putting their best foot forward. I really have to say, these sellers, very honest, reputable people. We get the inspection report back. He wants to throw the book at him. Literally. Says, send them the report and tell them to fix it. Okay, sure. So I wrote up the best Benzer I could, and I tried to convince him to give like a good, reasonable list. I mean, if there's anything major, obviously put that at the top, and then, you know, just kind of work your way down reasonably. But no, everything fixed, and he didn't even want me to give him a Benzer. He wanted me just to, buyer's inspection notice, seller's response is what that stands for. He wanted me to just literally send them the inspection report and said, fix it. Okay, so it was even a stretch to get him to sign the formal document to even get them to do it. So, okay, got him to do it, and we submitted it. And of course, you call the agent, you're like, hey, got my Benzer? And he's, of course, you know, the other line of the phone. And it's like, yeah, I understand. You know, please do your best. You know, please do your best. This is what he wants, and you know, please just do your best. Whatever your clients can do, much appreciated. So they do that, and of course, when you trigger another party, are they going to be inclined to help or not so much? So of course, because he went to such an extreme, in my opinion, they came back and said, we're not going to fix a darn thing. And of course, at that point in time, those are the most evil people in the world, according to my buyer, and they are just out to rip him off. They're just greedy, you know, go down the list, every name you could call them, blah, blah, blah. He did it, right? Oh, man. I got him to come back again, okay? And this time he asked for the reasonable amount, 4 or 5 things that really his real list, let's call it that. Go back to the sellers, they agreed to the small list. Thank God. Okay, so we get it done. The house appraises, okay? But it appraised at value, which meant that we weren't getting a good enough deal. And he wanted to cancel. It's like, it appraised. That means you're getting a good deal. Yeah, but it only appraised at the value. I should be getting a much better deal than just at value. I'm not gonna pay value for a home. No way, no, I'm gonna get a better deal. And it's like, you have to explain to them that in a crazy market that we experienced, let's call this like 2010 and 11, for example, the deal is the deal. The home is now, you know, what, 30% of its previous fall value. And the appraisers are so leery of controlling the market that if your home appraises by $3,000 or $4,000, you know you're doing amazing. Any home that even appraises is doing well, right? I can't even tell you how long that conversation was. I wish I had a timer on that one. My daughter came in afterwards. She's like, really? And I'm almost positive it was about a 2-hour phone call to go through the appraisal process and to get that one through, explaining it. So, of course, he wanted to cancel because it appraised. Isn't that wonderful? So, we move forward, okay? We went through the escrow stuff and blah, blah, blah. That was all decent. And let's get to the final walkthrough. So here's the culmination of this story. We do the final walkthrough. We're going in. The home was nice and clean. The home was moved out. I mean, it was perfect. Perfect, literally. They did every repair they were supposed to do. They had the home cleaned. It smelled beautiful. They even left a little note with the keys where they all went, made sure the remotes were there. I mean, these like I said, these sellers were wonderful. We're going through, and all of a sudden he looks over at the kitchen. Wait. Yes, sir? They swapped out the fridge. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm almost positive that's the same fridge. No. That fridge, our fridge had ice and water. This is not the same fridge. They're trying to rip us off. I'm 99% sure it didn't have ice and water, but here, let me double check. Okay, fortunately, this is where I'm in the habit of taking pictures when we do walkthroughs. I'm taking pictures, I randomly just take pictures. It's the property manager side of me, right? So I referenced the MLS listing. It has the same fridge. I referenced my pictures. Same fridge. He didn't believe me. He actually accused me of being in cahoots with the sellers who had never met before. Still have never met to this day. And I think that seller, because I was so new, I mean the seller's agent, I don't even think I knew that even had worked with that seller's agent before. Okay, it was such an off the wall thing. And it was like, what? And at that, what do you think if we were, what was I gonna get out of swapping out that? I mean, it was just a ridiculous thing, right? So I referenced the timestamps, and after about a 15-minute conversation inside the house where he was swearing up a storm, calling everybody, every which name you could think of, oh my gosh, he finally backed down. But it wasn't to me, it was to his wife, who was basically in tears because she knew it wasn't anything. She knew everything was the same as it was supposed to be. It had proven, and she was just looking forward to moving into this house. This was going to be their vacation home here in Arizona from up north. I mean, she was so excited. Their kids, their family, the brother, everyone was so excited. And he literally nearly canceled the day before closing because he swore up and down they swapped out the fridge. Craziness, man. Buying a home literally brings out what could be the worst in people, growling stuff. I mean, but when people get scared, threatened, sometimes it brings out the wow factor, and I don't mean that in a good way. But fortunately, we did close. They kept that house for years and years and years. I think they kept it for about 8 or 9 years before we helped them sell it at a wonderful profit. And yeah, we ended up truly developing a wonderful relationship after that. If you happen to have a story that tops a buyer wanting to cancel over him thinking he had a ice and water fridge, please leave your comments below. I'd love to feature and share your story. There are so many. We have months of these coming up, okay? So I hope you enjoy the story. Again, please, if you're enjoying these, hit that like button right now. Go over to that other side, hit subscribe. Check out all of our social media, our websites. Leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.